Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Studio. I'm Ashley. In this session, we're diving into a hot topic, securing AI at the edge. And today it's our honor to have two experts to join our discussion. First, we have Jerome from Veritas. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very glad to be here today at this fantastic show together with our partner Advantech, and I will be sharing our latest development in terms of certification and regulation information from our company.
Thank you, Jerome. And second, we've been joined by Joe from Advantech. Welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe. Glad to be here. And I also see a lot of friends here. Welcome. And I also want to welcome Ashley and Jerome to join Advantech's Inside Talk.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Jerome, for being here. And we're looking forward to discuss about the real solution for building AI-ready cybersecurity, the latest cybersecurity trend. So let's get started with the first question. This question is for Jerome. We see this year there have been reports of hackers attacking hospitals and companies in Taiwan. Everyone, do you notice that reports? Yes, and it's really drawing a lot of attention. So Jerome, have you ever seen similar cases? Can you share with us?
Yes. I think the attackers are getting more and more active. And so previously, as you were mentioning, we were seeing a lot of ransomware attack on hospital and so on. But now, and this is also one of the reasons why we are working with Advantech, the attackers are also using not only IT attacks, but they are using through the connected object in order to perform the attacks. So they use this object to perform botnet attacks. So they perform a network of objects, and they use it to perform denial of services attack. And we could see some recent example in cities in Asia where the smart city infrastructure was attacked, making unavailable many systems like the light, the fire light, the waste management, the camera detection. All of this was unavailable, and so it was quite a disaster for this city. And even now, this kind of attack are done to attack critical infrastructure, even, let's say, more critical than the cities itself. Yeah.
Yes, we observe that many examples are now exist. So we would like to ask Joe, based on your observation and experience, are cybersecurity threats becoming more serious today, especially in this new AI-driven landscape?
Yes, definitely. I think the cybersecurity threats are getting serious, especially with the AI is rising. So I think I can share with you a good example in 2023. It's about a ransomware attack on TSMC. I think you can still find the news very easy on the online news. And the background is just a supplier. He didn't take good care of his server, and let I think it's a criminal group called Lockbit break in and stole data, and also ask for a huge kind of reason. And I think this is not just interrupt their business operation, and also prove one thing. Even such a weak link can cause very serious impact with a mega company like TSMC. But I think made me feel even concerning is about, I think the AI is helping the hackers to do the even more serious attack, because right now they can spot vulnerability faster and even create kind of phishing email easily, right? So even some people, they are not experienced with the hacking kind of things. Now they can leverage the AI as a tool to do the thing very easy, right? So we need to know, even AI is very powerful. It can even become like a big guy's new tool. And that's why I think right now a strong cybersecurity is more important more than ever.
Thank you, Joe. And based on Joe's observation, cybersecurity threats are become more serious in the AI era. So we'd like to ask Jerome, how do you think this will impact the broader industry moving forward?
Yeah, so basically, indeed, the AI is increasing the attacks because, of course, there are more means for cybersecurity attackers to get information. There are more interfaces used, more objects, more connection. So the likelihood of attack is rising. And because of all the attacks that we have seen, many countries decided to set up some kind of regulation or labeling for cybersecurity. And I would say that the past years, it was quite wild and not very organized. Each country was more or less deciding on its own rules. So it was very difficult for manufacturers to understand what they need to do, what is important, what is not important. Now, in Europe, things became clear, and we have two major milestones. One is the red cybersecurity, which is mandatory from August this year. And so many manufacturers who deliver some product with wireless interfaces decided now to do what is necessary to be compliant. So we see a lot of demand on our side. And there is the next milestone, which is even wider, which is called Cyber Resilience Act, CRA. And this milestone is basically for every manufacturer who provide either software or hardware, including some digital elements. So the scope is very large. And so the requirement just became clear. And we will try to explain during the rest of the presentation how to achieve this important milestone for CRA in Europe.
Thank you, Jerome. And we can see that regulation is really key, but it can be a challenge for a lot of companies. So this question is for Joe. From your perspective at Advantech, how are global regulatory shifts like the EU Cyber Resilience Act affecting your work with your clients?
I think Jerome just mentioned a lot of regulation kind of things, and I can double check and confirm it's been like come from our frontline sales team or even our customers. Okay, they all like have the same kind of demand because of the global regulation or certification like kind of demand. Okay, they are asking for very solid kind of solution. So still, I want to like emphasize, like a very good example is about the CIA. I think because of this, all the electrical device want to get into the Euro market by 2027. You need to fully comply with it. Otherwise, you will face in like a huge fine, or you just blocked by the market. So I don't believe any kind of customer can like facing this kind of challenge. Okay. And another like even urgent kind of thing is about the IED. It will happen this year in August, right? So that already forced our customers a lot of anxiety. So definitely we need to find some solution for them.
Thank you, Joe. And just as Joe mentioned, it's not easy for companies to keep up with the regulations. So, Jerome, what strategies would you suggest to these companies to keep up with this regulation and stay on track?
Yes, that's a very good question, and I think most of the manufacturers are asking the same to us. How can we deal with all regulation? What is the best strategy? And often we point them to the 62443, and the reason is this standard has been there for quite a while now, more than 10 years, and it has been used in many different markets, in smart manufacturing, processing, semiconductor, medical, railway. Although it was initially designed only for industrial, it has been adopted by many more markets. And one also advantage for this 62443 standard is that it allows the management of systems. So it means when you have to make sure that an overall system is secure, you have some requirement for the component of the system that many will provide one part of the cybersecurity. but maybe not everything. And so you can reuse easily some requirements from one component to a system. And then you have also the premises approach. And last but not least, for manufacturer, it allows to define cybersecurity of their processes of development together with the cybersecurity of the product itself. And it's very important, for example, for CRA, there is the first milestone, which is to make sure processes will be ready 2026, and in 2027, it will be the product that should be ready. And 62443 is a very good baseline for it.
Thank you, Jerome. And based on your experience, what are the common challenges companies face when implementing IEC 62443 in real-world scenarios?
Yeah, so I would split the answer in two parts. So normally when you have to perform certification, you need to do first the process certification, which we call 62443/4/1. And here the challenges are linked basically to the maintenance of the process. So generally it's easy to set up the process the first time, but then you need to maintain, you need to manage your supplier, you need to manage all the different vulnerability with the suppliers will be handled, you need to manage your software bomb. And all of this is quite new to many of our customers, and they get difficulty to get things in place and to make sure this process is working, especially to have a supplier management that is efficient in order to deliver later on vulnerabilities together with patches for their product. So this is, let's say, for the process part. And for the product part, I would say there are more multiple issues. So I can provide a few of them, which are also mentioned on the slide. So basically, something that we see often failing when we are evaluating is input validation, because often our customers think it's not so important, so they don't put it in place. And finally, there could be some attack by using injection via inputs. There is also issue with the public key management, so the PKI management, when it is managed inside the company, we see often failing here. And one difficulty also is the price to put the cybersecurity in place, especially the HSM, which is something very efficient for cybersecurity, but a bit costly. And often they don't know, should I have it as part of my product or not? So these are some examples of difficulties here.
Thank you, Jerome. And Joe, given the difficulties, as Jerome just mentioned, are there any solutions can help companies to overcome these challenges?
Yes, I think just like Jerome mentioned, I think two are like a main concern from our customer. One is the cybersecurity threat. Another thing I think is the compliance about the global regulation. But just like Jerome said, it's very complicated. If you want to accomplish that, you will face a lot of challenge. So in Advantech, I think our job is make it simple as possible. So that's why we create this kind of 4-layer security offering. It starts from the device layer, and then through to the OS security protection, and then the customer side applications, and all the way to the cloud security. Okay, so with this 4-layer, we can provide our customer very solid device security kind of offering. And also we want to make the certification become easier. And that's why we have a two-phase kind of strategy. It starts from the Advantech IEC 62443 pre-certified solution. Okay, so with this, our customer can have the solution to meet their basic security need. But for the market readiness, you can just get our support with our third party, which is 뷰로베리타스. Okay, so you can ask for the formal certifications. Okay, so you can see this is an end-to-end total solution. Okay, with this end-to-end total solution, you can enjoy the faster, more affordable, and also lower risk kind of solution, and direct to facing your future challenge, maybe come from the IEDDA or the CIA or even the MIS2. this kind of global regulations. Okay, and it's not just like this. I want to share with you about how Advantech can help our customer to facing the future regulation kind of challenge. So you can see on this slide, when you want to make your equipment being certified, it's just like you are climbing a very steep mountain, right? So for most of the people, you don't have a choice. You need to start a climb from the very bottom, and there will be no expert to guide you. Okay, you need to figure everything out on your way on, right? So the whole road will be full of risky challenge. Okay, it will be something time consuming. Okay, but if you are Advantech's customer, I can assure you, you don't need to just start from scratch. It will something like you are start from a very high mountain lodge, very close to your target, and start from along you can with our expert support and with very reliable gears, so you can just reach the top very quickly. And another beautiful thing will be there will be more and more mountain appear, and even with that, you can still use our solution and help you ascend smoothly as effectively.
Thank you, Joy. It's so exciting to hear Advantech has solutions to help customers, especially in the AI era. Challenge will increase, but no matter, because Advantech can help your customers. Yes. And can you give us some success stories about your solutions? We would like to realize more examples.
Yeah, I think every solution needs to prove in the real world, right? So let me show you a real world example. It's just recently we have a client, a customer, he just won a project, a huge project in the power management kind of place. Okay, and one of the key reasons behind why they win is because they choose Advantech's device with the pre-certified already built in, and this clearly bring that very a clear advantage during the bidding process. Definitely you can see the higher security spec and more flexibility for future, right? But our customer, they not just stop here. They also leverage our solution as the foundation, and they integrate their personal own application, right, to pursue for the higher certification, which is 62443-3-3. Okay, this actually is more reflect the real field environment and their daily operation in a real project. Okay, but I think I need to highlight something like this. The real value will come from when they are looking for scale up. Okay, so with our pre-certified solution, with our device, they can easily just deployment their device or their project with multiple space very easily. So that bring them help them to saving tons of budget, time, and also lower the risk. It normally would happen when you want to scale your project. You will face that kind of risks.
Thank you, John. And Jerome, we are also curious about your customers' feedback after using Advantech solution.
Yeah. So indeed, this kind of approach is the right strategy for a system manufacturer to use some certified products. The reason is indeed, if you start from scratch, from our experience, it can take 1.5 to 2 years to put everything in place to be compliant to 62443/3/3. And in principle, this standard is made to use kind of secure component coming from company like Advantech. Because indeed, inside the system, you will have some weak components, some weak devices, maybe some old legacy devices, and you need to input in the system some secure components where you can use Advantech components. And if these components are indeed certified and with security capabilities, they will make sure that other components within the system are secured, and overall the system is secured. And concretely also, if we have to deliver such a certification, we do what we call reusability or composition. And basically, when the system provider will have to demonstrate conformity to the standard, it can reuse some test report coming from Advantech that were confirmed to be compliant to the 62443/4/2, and they can also reuse some features which are already in place and refer to test report and reuse evidences, because this is a certification which is made mostly on evidences and testing, and the testing itself also can be reused. So concretely, it helped to build up the system and also to speed up the certification process.
Thank you, Jerome. And Joe, we are so curious that, well, Advantech, how will Advantech cooperate with Veritas in the futures, and what's your feedback about your collaboration?
Okay, I think Jerome mentioned a lot of key points. I think just like AI is evolving very quick, and so is the cybersecurity threat, and also like a global regulation will come after that. So in Advantech, we believe there's no one-size-fits-all kind of solution. Never. At least I didn't see it yet. So instead of that, we are trying to build like an ecosystem for offering the eco solutions with our eco partners. So to doing that, I think the purpose to doing that is we want to provide a long-term kind of solution to facing that kind of keep evolving challenge. So here I can give you a very good example. Recently, we start collaborate with ecosystem partner called OneKey. So with OneKey solution, they are not focused to help you do the one-time certification. Their solution can help you, like keep you compliant all the time. Basically, with their solution, you can have like a 24/7 hours kind of monitoring about your vulnerability, about your compliance. So they can help your product life cycle, keep like a security kind of situation. Okay, and so I think our purpose to make it short is we want to provide like kind of tool or even is an ecosystem to help our customer to facing like again. I think the challenge is keep evolving. So that's why we think ecosystem is very important in our solution. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. And to conclude, can you give our audience one suggestions to enhance their security in the AI era? Joe, first.
Okay, so I think just like I say, I think ecosystem is our key purpose and our direction right now. So to achieve that, I think Advantech we are committed to keep investing on this, to build up a more strong ecosystem with our eco partners. So with that, I think we can let our customers to put the challenge kind of issue to Advantech. And then our customer can focus more on the thing really matters. What I mean really matters is about maybe they can focus more on their innovation or develop their valued applications. Okay, so also I think today we have very short time to share all the information. So in case you want to get more detail, you can just scan the QR code and you can get all the information, something like our software product ebook, our security guidebook, or even like the IC 623's introduction from our eco partner 뷰로베리타스. Okay, please do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And Jerome, how about your suggestion?
Yeah, my first suggestion is to start early to think about cybersecurity, because as we could explain, there are now some major milestones coming if you want to access certain markets. So before it was a little bit optional to have cybersecurity, but now because of more attacks, more regulation and more, let's say, market access, like you have some tenders requesting for 62443 compliance. You really need to implement it. And to do this, you need time. So you need time to understand the requirements, to implement the cybersecurity features, to get some expertise within your company. So indeed, with the help of Advantech and 뷰로베리타스, maybe you can decrease the effort on your own company by working with partner and with a good ecosystem. But still, you need to prepare and to make sure that you would be ready. So for this, we have also a network worldwide within 뷰로베리타스, knowing more precisely the different regulation and requirement coming from everywhere, and we can help you to basically prepare and make sure that you will have the right implementation and the right processes and products according to the expected regulation and market requirements.
Thank you, Jerome, and thank you, Joe, for sharing valuable insights with us. Thank you. And just as Joe's mentioned, if you are interested in this topic, please scan the QR code and contact Advantech. Advantech solution is really great and can help you.
Yeah, no problem. Our representative is there for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining today's Insight
Thank
Studio.
you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you next time. I'm Ashley. Bye.